All right, let's get right into it. We are breaking down everything that happened on Sfido Showdown 248. And listen, this wasn't just your average show. Oh, no. This was a huge stop on the road to season's beatings. And believe me, the stories that got kicked into high gear are setting us up for some absolutely epic clashes.
So, here's the game plan. We're not just going to go match by match. Nah, we're going to look at the big picture, the major stories. We'll hit the Sfido championship scene, the absolute mess surrounding the Vegas title, see who's teaming up and who's breaking up, and then tie it all together for the road ahead. Okay, so let's set the scene. We're at the Goodfellas Casino Arena in Las Vegas, and you could just feel it in the air, right? The stakes were incredibly high. Every single move tonight felt like a major piece being shifted on the board as we head towards the big one. All right, let's kick things off at the very top. We're talking about the SVO Championship. Now the champ, Carlos Vasquez, he thought he had a clear path to season's beatings. Well, think again. A brand new, and I mean dangerous threat just blew past everyone and jumped right to the front of the line.
And this right here is the perfect picture of what this conflict is all about. It's a total clash of styles. You've got Carlos Vasquez, the Miami Maverick. Smooth, confident, the guy just oozes charisma. Then you've got Angelo Anderson, unbreakable. This guy is a walking wall of muscle, cold, calculated, and let's not forget, he's the one who pinned Vasquez last week. It's like fire and ice, and they both want the exact same thing.
I mean, listen to that. I will take your title, and I will break you. That just gives you chills, doesn't it? Anderson didn't shout, he didn't put on a big show, he just looked Vasquez dead in the eye and delivered this promise. For him, this isn't about glory, it's about pure destruction. That's a whole other level of threat. So what does the champ do? Does he back down? No way, not Carlos Vasquez. He met that threat head on, and now look what we've got. A massive surprise title match is now official for Showdown 250. I mean, think about that. This is a huge risk for Vasquez. His entire journey to season's beatings could get completely blown up before he even makes it there. But hey, the SVO title wasn't the only thing going on at the top of the card. The main event of the night featured this killer lineup of talent. You had Garcia, Sate Domino, and Thompson. But the story, the real story coming out of this, the brand new guy, Masafumi Sate, gets the pin on former SVO champion Danny Domino. A debutante just beat a former champ. You want to talk about sending a message? That's how you do it. Okay, now let's switch gears and talk about the SVO Las Vegas Championship. Because if you thought the main event was heating up, this whole situation just, well, it completely exploded. We're talking a massive chain reaction of revenge that got way out of hand. So, how did we get to total chaos? It's actually a pretty simple domino effect. Step 1, last week, CJ Dreamer gets involved where he shouldn't, costing both Martel and McLeod a shot at the title. So, this week, payback time. First, Martel runs in and attacks Dreamer. Then, not to be outdone, McLeod runs in and attacks Dreamer too. It was just a revolving door of beatdowns, and frankly, management decided they were done with it. And here's the solution, if you can call it that. The SVO owner, John Page, basically said, you guys want chaos? Fine, you've got it. And he made this monster of a match for season's beatings, a fatal four-way for the Las Vegas title. So you've got Martel, McLeod, Dreamer, and poor Bernard Wolf, who just got caught in the crossfire. All of them in one ring at one time. That's not a match, that's a demolition derby. This theme of chaos kind of spread across the whole show. And what's fascinating is we saw this really clear pattern emerge. On one hand, organized factions are stronger than ever. But on the other, old school tag teams and partnerships, they're shattering left and right. Yeah, the big takeaway from tonight was simple. There is power in numbers. Period. The groups that stuck together, that operated like a well-oiled machine, they were the ones getting their hands raised, even if they had to break a few rules to do it. And you don't have to look far for proof. First, you've got the Blood Money Soldiers. They get the win because their enforcer, Joe Barone, provides the perfect distraction. Then later, you've got Brace Brantley taking on Jake Blackwood. Brantley only wins because the SVO tag champs, the SEC, come down and just obliterate Blackwood. It proves an old saying, right? It really pays to have backup. But on the total flip side of that coin, while all these groups were showing their strength, we saw something completely different. We saw a team, a partnership, just get violently torn apart from the inside. Man, this was just brutal to see. So the veteran, Jay the Icon Adder, he loses a tough one. His partner, Jacob Azaz, comes out, and you think he's there to help him up, right? Wrong. It was a total setup. Azaz just laid into him, beat him down, and destroyed their team, Generation Joint, right then and there. This was more than just splitting up. This was a hostile takeover. And there was no mystery about why he did it. He got right in Adder's face and screamed it for the whole world to hear, "I am done carrying dead weight." He basically declared that he was taking over the team name and everything. What a cold, calculated move from a guy who's clearly had enough of playing second fiddle. You just know this is gonna get personal and fast. Okay, so let's take a breath. The dust is settling from Showdown, and what are we left with? Well, we've got new enemies, old problems getting worse, and every single road seems to be leading straight to one place: Season's beatings. So, what do you need to be watching for moving forward? Well, first up, can Carlos Vasquez even make it to the pay-per-view with his title? Then you've got the Las Vegas title. Who in the world is going to survive that four-way chaos? You have to wonder, what is Jay Adder going to do to Jacob Azaz for that betrayal? And finally, what's next for Masafun Tsaratake after that massive debut win? So many questions, and the stakes just keep getting higher. And really, that's the one question that hangs over everything, isn't it? With titles up for grabs, friendships completely destroyed, who's going to rise above all the chaos and steal the show at Season's beatings? The road there is going to be an absolute war zone, and we'll be right here to break it all down for you. Thanks for watching.